Even when I go to nice areas like this and I see the beauty that many places have, I'm still drawn back to certain areas in Florida where I enjoy the most. And part of my thought process on eventually possibly having a home base is that feeling that, for me, even when I'm in nice areas like this, there's certain areas in Florida that just draw me back. That, Florida and specific areas in Florida feel home to me, and I miss them even amongst this different beauty. I miss palm trees. I miss certain areas that I really enjoy. And so I think I'm sharing all that to say, I think on your discovery, if you ever do become a nomad, and if you ever do really adopt a life of living on the road and minimalism without a home base, without living full time on the road. I've done so for a year and a half, and as I get into this season of it, that's part of my reflections. In the beginning, you're trying to break your mind of all the things that held you captive for years, all the materialistic items and being anchored down to a certain area. And then once you explore, you spend the first year, if you make it to the first year. Most people, I think, by 6 or 8 months, they'll know if this lifestyle is something for them. If it isn't for them, I think by 8 months, they won't be doing this anymore. Then I think if you get past a year and you visit the areas you want to visit, whether it's traveling the country or traveling the world, I think then you start to key in on, do I want to have a home base? And because you start to reflect on the areas that inspire you the most and that you want to be around the majority of time, and that you may want to have some roots in those areas. That's going to be an individual thing, but that's part of what I feel. A year and a half living full time as a nomad on the road without a home base. What I can tell you is I'm starting to feel that even when I visit nice areas, beautiful areas, and even the variety is a great blessing, I do feel drawn back to certain areas, and again, in Florida. And so, for me, is having a campground just enough, and traveling around the state, which I do now, and then the different states. Is that enough, or do I really want to? You never own property, but in one sense of speaking. But there is something to be said to having a little space niched out for you, so to speak. But I want to share that with you because these are the range of feelings that you get. And after a year, if you make it that long, you start to feel that way. Initially seeing these nice things out here, they have a level of inspiration. But then I start to think this isn't as good as where I have found my happy place the most. And so that's something to be considered as you progress on your nomadic journey. And for me, it just always goes back to certain parts of Florida and a certain area that I'm thinking in my mind is just, that's where I'm drawn to the most.